Good morning. Welcome to our sharing. This is our presentation topic for today. Anger, being in control. Today, I would like to touch on the feelings of anger, how to actively resolve anger, how to deal with moments of anger, the behavioral techniques, and then some cognitive approaches. Jumping in, a common response to stress is fight or flight. And why? Because fear is imminent. The danger is real, but your response of fear is a choice in the sense of how you react. We are biological in nature, so our survival instincts are reactive when we are challenged. Our face gets hot, our heart pumps, our fists are clenched in response to danger, and our feelings ensue. Next, I would like to introduce you to this technique known as diaphragmatic breathing. You can practice this at home in moments that seize you into feeling the fear of danger, prompting you to react with anger. Take time out and practice the diaphragmatic breathing technique. You could also practice this when you are outdoors. Further on, I would like to introduce you to some solutions that you could adopt at home and also while outdoors. You may carry plastic bags or balloons with you and utilize them when you feel an attack coming on. When you feel a relapse coming on, you may take out a plastic bag, then inhale or exhale with the plastic bag over your mouth and nose, and practice the breathing technique. Alternatively, you may utilize a balloon for this breathing technique. Another technique is what I term as captions. It is a simple procedure. Be attentive to your emotions when danger strikes. Be aware of what you are feeling, then translate your feelings into descriptive words, and then acknowledge why you feel this way. Another useful technique I adopt is reciting the Serenity Prayer. You don't have to recite the whole prayer, but just these few lines is sufficient, and summarizes the prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Which then leads me to this poster. This will always work. Pray. Practice the pause. When in doubt, pause. When angry, pause. When tired, pause. When stressed, pause. And when you pause, pray. Now, why do we feel angry most times? Because fear is imminent and real, and danger is sensed. If we process the negative feelings and think with our prefrontal cortex, which is our brain, why we are feeling this way, our response will be different. Instead of exploding with anger, we assess the situation appropriately and logically. We reflect rather than react, hence no longer behaving impulsively. I'm going to share some slides from Dr. Ang, a prominent psychiatrist, about reflections versus reacting. When we reflect our feelings, we process the feelings in our limbic system to our prefrontal cortex, and then this results in rational behavior. On the other hand, when we react without reflecting, whatever we feel in our limbic system goes to the brainstem directly, resulting in impulsive or irrational behavior. On this point, we shall discuss about survival instincts versus rational thinking. Feelings are a protective mechanism that propels us to react or respond. It is a built-in defense mechanism. We are built with survival instincts like the animals. The difference is that we have a well-developed brain, which allows us to reflect and think before we act. If we allow ourselves to be overwhelmed by emotions, without reflection, we are seized by the moment and react impulsively or irrationally. Having a look at our relationships, we explore how we handle conflicts or anger when it surmounts. Under this series of talks, in relation to the topic of managing our emotions in our relationships, we have the sharing of the Mimosa Touch Me Not project. which is about reflective relationships and responsive relationships. The Lit in Translation series, where we explore our personal narratives, and the Cherish program, about our family constellation. Listening to our voices within. Why is it important for us to listen to our voices within us? We emphasize and explore effective communication in relationships to avoid showing anger. I'd like to introduce a program called the Mimosa Touch Me Not Project, which focuses on listening to our voices within in relationships. In a relationship, the girls are encouraged to express themselves when the time is right and to stand firm, and the guys are taught to respect the one they have romantic feelings towards. Both parties are to take responsibility and honor their relationship. Why do we need to think through our emotions? The little voice in us guides us in exploring our relationship and our boundaries. Both parties have a little voice, intuition, guiding them as they explore their relationships, and sometimes we have to be more aware of that little voice within. Both guy and girl will not enjoy the romance when it is forced. Conflicts, leading to feelings of guilt, fear, anger, ruins the relationship. However, a romantic relationship blooms when the time is right for both parties. What do we want to achieve? Why are our relationships important? When we respect boundaries, we are protecting ourselves. As a guy, we are holding our esteem as a son, a brother, a friend, and a father. Being responsible, respectful, and committing in a mutual relationship brings honor to their manhood, brotherhood, and familyhood. As a girl who stands firm, stands up to what she feels is right or not, she's listening to her own needs and resuming respect for herself. This is a cute memo that I wanted to share with you. Chocolate always melts, doesn't chocolate? To summarize, the Mimosa Touch Me Not project is about reflective relationships, responsive relationships. Touch is an acronym for status, taking ownership, observing care and concerns and happiness, and tracking towards objectives that promote healthy living in mind, body, and spirit. We pay attention to our feelings and we are aware. Firstly, being aware. Listening to your feelings. Distinguish ready from not. Respecting boundaries. Respecting yourself. Enforcing boundaries. Knowing when is the right time. Maintaining your honor. Loving yourself with the right one. And accepting the right feelings. Next, I will introduce the Lit in Translation series about cultures through time, shaping literature, building. This series is engaging literature in translation, where we explore our narratives. What is our storytelling? How do I translate in the narrative? How are my relationships responsive and instrumental in our lives? Because literature values build relationships, helping to shape and inspire others. When we inspire others, we are lit in life. There's a spark and the fireworks, and literature lives. While we are lit, we find ourselves under a canopy filled with stars, and find oneself amongst other stars. Expressiveness is an art, and we explore our narratives. We grow, evoking expression, communication, and language. This reflects the science and art behind our emotions, translating into our expressiveness and literacy. While it is a science and art, our experiences are roots to know our ground and wings to navigate through life's climate. Now, what do we cherish? Lit in Translation emphasizes on what we cherish. What is the Cherish program about? Belonging together, hand in hand always. Mommy's the word. That's cool too. We are the sum of our voices. We speak up. We are whole. Looking ahead, Cherish empowers people in relationships to command supportive and caring, responsible stages towards one another, being empathetic and sincere towards one another, bearing mutual understanding and appropriate roles and attitudes towards all in their relationships. Cherish gives its voice to stamp out inappropriate adaptive measures to resolve conflicts within the relationships that bears abusive tones in maladaptive coping to challenges within the relationship. We all have bad days, but we can relate. Let's cherish and be responsive towards our ways of coping and bearing responsibility for each other in our relationships. As a family, we can openly seek support and communicate. While you journey through your challenges, always remember this. Your journey of wellness that recognizes that you are unique, special, worthy, loved, and enough. And I'd like to leave you with this positive note of your being. Unique, special, worthy, loved, and enough. Thank you for your attention.